Welcome to Leaving Cert Plus lesson 1.8, and in today's lesson we're going to learn how to solve a quadratic equation. This is a really important part of our algebra course and comes up the majority of years in the Leaving Cert. So first of all, what does a quadratic equation look like? A quadratic equation has an x squared term, it's got an x term, it's got a number, and then finally, really importantly, it has to equal 0 to be a quadratic equation. There are many different methods we can use to solve a quadratic equation, but the one I'm going to use for all our quadratics today is the minus b formula. I think it's the single most easy method to use and it works every single time. So let's get straight into a question that has a quadratic equation and I'll show you how to use the minus b formula. So here we asked to solve a quadratic equation. It has an x squared term, an x term, and a leftover number, and it equals 0. So I've written the minus b formula. Remember, this formula is not one you have to learn off by heart. It's on page 20 of your log tables. So what we have to do, first of all, is we have to identify the coefficients which are called a, b, and c in our question. So a is going to be 2, the coefficient of the x squared term. B is going to be minus 7. Be really careful you don't call it 7. And then c is 3. Now, what's a really good lesson here is I'm going to rewrite out this minus b formula, except everywhere I hit a letter, I'm going to leave a blank open space, which I'm going to put my coefficients into in a moment. So as you can see, this is called the blank minus b. So as you can see, I've written out the entire formula, but everywhere there's a b, an a, or a c, I have replaced that with a blank. Now all I have to do is simply apply my coefficients in the proper place. So b goes in twice here, a also goes in twice at the top and the bottom, and then finally c goes in one place. Now it's a really easy step. I want you to take your calculator, I want you to press the over button, and I want you to type this exactly in as you see it, except use a plus for here in the center. Don't use the minus. And then when you get to the whole thing typed in, press x equals and press equals, and it comes up as 3. Then I want you to not delete it and start again. I want you to arrow back, use the cursor and arrow back up to where there's a plus, and now I want you to change it to a minus. And then again, press equals, and we get x equals a half. These two answers are known as the roots of the quadratic, basically the answers. So if you ever see the word roots, that is what they're talking about. There are 2 roots for every quadratic equation. Let's try another example. So in this question, again, we're asked to solve the equation. I'm going to solve this to a couple of decimal places this time, because I think this one works out as decimals. So I'll solve it to maybe 2 decimal places. So a is 1, b is minus 8, and c is minus 4. And remember, I'm going to go 2 decimal places in this question. They will tell you in the Leaving Cert what they wanted to, but I'm going to go 2 decimal places for this question. So first of all, what we're going to do, we are going to rewrite out the minus b formula, except everywhere we hit a letter, I'm going to leave a blank, like I did in the last question. You're getting example 3, by the way, so be ready. And then all over 2 times that, and let's apply our numbers. So b is going in twice, minus 8 and minus 8. A is going to go in twice, 1 and 1, and c is going to be minus 4. Again, I want you to get out your calculator, press equals, and sometimes just to show you what would happen, when you type in the calculator, this can come up, 4 plus 2 root 5. That would be if they want the answer in surd form. So that's with the plus, as you can see in here in my diagram, there's the plus. So what we do then is change it to a decimal. And when you change a decimal in this case, you get x equals 8.47. And then arrow back up to get your second root. So change the plus that's up here to a minus and get your second root. And the second answer is x equals minus 0.47. And you are done. So now I'm going to give you a question to try. You're getting example number 3. So with example 3, identify your a, b, and c. Pause the video right now, have a go, and come back to me in a moment. So your a, b, and c, first of all. A was 3, b was 5, and c was minus 11. Let me again help you out here. I'm going to do the full question out just for you. So we have got the minus b formula with blanks every time we hit a letter. It's just simply inputted data. So we're going to have b going in twice, which is 5 here and here. A is going in twice, 3 and 3, and then minus 11. Again, folks, we're going to hit our calculators. So I said the 2, again, it didn't tell us in this question, but I'm going to go 2 decimal places each time. So I hope you did too. The first answer you should have got is 1.25. And then when you arrow back up and get a minus, it was minus 2.92, and you are done. Okay, I'm going to do 2 exam paper questions just to show you exactly what way it's asked in questions in the exam papers. So this one's from 2020, question 5, and they've asked you to solve the equation. So again, this one's quite easy. So there's a is 1, b is minus 3, and c is minus 4. So again, I'm not changing anything on which I've done in my examples. So I'm going to write out the full minus b formula again. and input my numbers for A, B, and C. So we have minus 3. I think that's the biggest mistake people make, is not actually realizing it's a 3. A is 1, which I've seen people put in x squared, would you believe? And then again, once we have that done, into my calculator, press equals. So what do we get? The first answer we got is, for this question, I think is 4. And we're doing plus, and then the second answer then is a minus 1, and we are done. So that is 2020 question 5 part A. And I'll do one more just so we're nearly over practice at this stage. So this is 2023 question 6 part C. It was worth 10 marks this year, and they want to give each answer to 2 decimal places. So again, let's get cracking. So A is 9, B is 6, and C is minus 5. Again, we're going to write out the minus b formula one more time. Remember, we do not have to learn this off. It is on page 20 of our log tables. We just have to be very careful. This just takes a lot of practice, folks. So b is 6, it's going in twice. A is 9, going in twice. And then we have minus 5. Again, we're simply going to use our calculators. So when you type it all in, what did we get? So our 2 answers here, first of all, are 0.48 when you did the plus, and then minus 1.15 when you did the minus. And that is the end of our quadratic equations. I hope you found this lesson interesting. It's a really important part of our course. Get practicing, folks, and we'll see you again soon on Leaving Cert Plus.
If you like this video, you'll love our notes. You can get some for free in the link in the description of this video.